Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, superheroes aren't invincible at the box office. Details on Shazam's disastrous debut last weekend in the hot dish. Then, the Oscars may be over, but I'm still watching the nominees. My review of The Whale. And what's on your mind this week? You're letting us know when we open the mailbag. The Jason Show starts right now. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Happy day. No, it's fixing my mic. I was worried I didn't turn it on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister, Kendall Mark, everybody.
Hi. Hi, y'all. Hi.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy first day of spring.
Yes. That.
Thank you. That I know. Audience, you don't have to fake it. I mean, it's the first day of spring that doesn't feel like the first day of spring.
No, you're
I'm wearing a scarf, for heaven's sake. And I just realized the irony of that. I'm like, I know.
It's fitting with this weather.
Yes, it is fun. It is sunny.
I mean, that's so Minnesota of me.
Very
it's
fitting,
the
I meant to
weather.
say.
It's
I know.
so fitting with talk about the weather.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do anything fun?
Yesterday I did not leave the house. My friend Holly from the radio show refers to it as never taking off your soft pants. So I didn't know. I didn't brush my hair. I didn't wash my hair. I barely brushed my teeth.
You brush your hair.
I do. I brush my little Fisher Price hair.
I mean, I don't know if
yeah.
men brush their hair.
No, I brush my hair.
Okay.
But I didn't leave. I barely left the couch. I rolled. I just rolled off the couch to the kitchen and then rolled back to the living room. But no, on Saturday, this is what happened.
Okay.
So if you watch the show, you know that a couple weeks ago I did that story where I worked the pull tab booth at the VFW in Richfield. Thank you, audience. So I worked the pull tab booth, okay? So I went there and I promised the good people there that I would return there.
I shall return.
That I would go back socially.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang. I didn't want to work. I wanted to hang. Because again, I was raised in a VFW. My mom raised me in a VFW. She played bingo. Hi, Dar, love you. So we went on Saturday. We walk in. Now, here's the deal. I walk up to the pull tab booth, and there's a $2 box, okay? And the $2 box it has about this many tickets left. So it's prime.
And they're this big of a
Yeah,
box.
when they start, there's about,
Yeah.
So this is low. And I look up at the board, and there are 4 $500 winners still in that box. Social media manager Addie's here. She was with me. We're still a little bitter about this. Anyway, so we decided. I said to the group, I go, we're investing in this. We got it.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. So we each put in like $20. So we went up there, didn't win. Bottom line, to shorten this up a little bit, we invested I put in about $100. Okay. I went up there the last time and we pulled a $100 winner. So the group all decided that we would just play that back.
Yep.
So I went up there this time, okay? Now, we're in, again, about $100. The box is empty to the point where she's scraping
the bottom.
Like, there's still a couple piles here, but we can see the bottom. So then she handed me my stack of 50, and I'm like, oh, there has to be one $500. They're scraping the bottom. We went back to our table and we all felt real confident and we're opening these damn things.
We're gonna get
and
free drinks and food.
And I look at Addie. Addie's face is like, no. I look at Colin. No. None of us pulled anything. 30 seconds later, a man walks in off the street, plunks down $10 and wins 2 of the 500s. What did you say, Jeff? Good for him. No, not good for him.
No, this is like a Greek tragedy.
I know, but this is what my mother-in-law always says as she goes, That's why it's called gambling, and she's right. But yeah.
You should have just bought the box out.
Well, I didn't have money.
What? Why y'all laughing? I'm serious.
I could have, but I reached in my pocket and I didn't have any money, and they're not allowed to wait for you.
Right.
So all I had was the money. Yeah, believe
That
me,
you
I would have
handed
bought
her.
out the box. But yeah, anyway. So to the man that won the 2000, I hope you don't mind that I slit your tires as I walked out. And yeah. I didn't do that. I slit one of them. Anyway, it's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Let's do this. I really didn't. Don't email me. I'm just joking. I don't need that email today. First up, Zachary Levi's return as the quirky superhero Shazam had a rough landing at the box office this weekend, and that's putting it mildly. So before we tell you how bad this is, here's a little bit of the trailer.
We are at war. We will annihilate everything. Champions of this realm can do nothing to stop us.
You are very menacing. I just want you to know that.
So, it's called A Fury of the Gods. Look, it had low expectations going into the weekend. I guess Warner Brothers didn't go low enough, but it failed to live up to even those expectations. The movie brought in just $30 million. And if you think of a budget for a superhero movie with the cast and special effects, marketing, you, even not working in Hollywood, you know that 30 million is nothing. Nothing. It was one of the lowest weekend opening weekends ever for a superhero movie. Yeah. If I'm the new folks, you know, James Gunn, if I'm the new folks coming in to run the superhero division of Warner Brothers, I'm just like, okay, let's just put that away and not ever talk about it again.
Because isn't this a holdover from the last
administration?
Regime? Right.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
But now I bet they're wondering, why didn't we use this as a write-off like we did that Batgirl movie? You know what I mean?
true, they
Because that's what they did. They canceled the Batgirl movie even though they shot it. I wonder if they're wondering why they didn't do it with Shazam.
They said, I read one of the online articles reported it was around $125 million. And that's before any of the marketing that they did. That was just production and what they spent. So like.
It's nothing. 30's nothing. 30
real
pays
bad.
for like 2 salaries of
Seriously,
the stars. Yeah.
I mean,
2,
honestly.
maybe 1.5. Next to the dish. Does a nearly 4-hour movie not do it for you? Well, okay.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. Well, here, get ready, audience. Avatar 3, it's not going to hit theaters until December of 2024, okay? And already we're hearing about the fact that they're going to do an extended director's cut. On a podcast, the director, James Cameron, revealed he has a cut that could potentially hit 9 hours. That cut would go to Disney Plus after the film's movie, the actual theatrical release. And it would be another way for the studio to cash in on the popularity of the franchise. But don't get your hopes up, though, because plans could change when James realizes he needs visual effects for 9 hours of film. And yeah, think of that. You made a good analogy. Your beloved Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, was like 5 hours and too long.
Yeah, it was 4 hours, because I wanted to double check. It was 4 hours and 38 minutes was the extended cut. And I'm a nerd. I'm obsessed with this franchise. And I was like, God, my back kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Wrapping this up? Yeah, Legolas is still chatting, okay.
Yeah. And that's the movie. Return of the King had 18 endings.
Yeah.
Every time you thought that movie was going to end, they faded to black and they came back up and there's Frodo playing skee-ball. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, are we not done?
Everybody's good, everybody.
They're at the bar in the Shire. You know, it's like, okay, we get it. Yeah. Next in the dish, the woman who wrote the source material for Mean Girls is really mad at Tina Fey and wants a piece of the pie, like the Jeffersons. Her name is Rosalind Wiseman. So she wrote the book that inspired Mean Girls and sold the rights for a movie and all other works like musicals and TV shows for $400,000 back in 2002. Y'all know where this is going. Her contract included residuals for nonprofits, but she says Tina and the studio claim they have no net profits. Rosalind and, well, us, we can't believe that and is demanding her fair share and is taking Tina to task over her past comments that she's made about women supporting women. The Mean Girls franchise is getting a reputation for being stingy. This after the original stars pulled out of another Mean Girls movie over a disrespectful money offer. To put things, talk about box office, the original made more than $100 million at the box office. This is one of those situations, and you have them over the years, you've had them over the years with Hollywood, that a project comes along, the stars are given very little because the studio doesn't have a lot of confidence. Then Project X becomes a huge hit. The good studios, the good bosses, out of respect, go back to those stars and say, you know what? We paid you $15 and some Kohl's cash. Now we want to give you.
Hey.
Now we.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Don't spend the Kohl's cash all in one place. But this movie made them. So we want to share. Here's some more money because we've made so much money. It sounds like they're not doing that here. It's tacky.
No, and think about how much money they made in the first one. Lindsay Lohan, out of those 4 women, was the only really big star at that point. Everyone else leapt and continued that way, but they probably weren't paying those 4 actresses a ton of money. So they must have made buco bucks.
Yeah. They've made, come on, Paramount. Even the Mean Girls franchise, you can't tell me that there's no net profit off that.
I have a Mean Girls bookmark.
Yeah, there was merch.
Thanks for that, Addie. I do. I mean, I'm just saying they have stuff everywhere.
Out of all the merch for you to have, I love that you have a bookmark.
Addie gave it to me.
I love that. Okay.
Bird alert.
We have a lot more to come. We'll be back right after this. Stay right there, everybody. Welcome back. Want to be in the audience this week? Go to eventbrite.com and search for The Jason Show. Welcome back. Well, St. Patrick's Day, as you guys know, was on Friday, and we predicted it. We said it on the show. John Oliver did what we thought John would do. He poked fun at the Irish accents that all the local news anchors tried to do on Friday. It's lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, come back to your TV. Here is our Late Night Rewind.
Top of the morning to you. Happy Friday. Welcome to this Irish edition of Good Day Marketplace. I'm Cameron McFontana.
And I am not doing an accent.
Top of the morning to you on this fine Irish day. All right, let's get to it.
We haven't said it yet. We haven't said it. Top of the morning. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you.
7:15 on St. Patty's Day. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you. You didn't insult a single person.
Top of the morning to you, lass. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Can you do an Irish accent, Finley?
I have no clue.
Iron pot of gold to y'all there. That was not a very good St. Patty's Day accent.
Green helps you become invisible to leprechauns.
Well, I didn't know any.
But you're too tall to be a leprechaun.
I know. Well, it's
Look, he's even got his fisherman's sweater on.
We got this.
You know, the lore behind the fisherman's sweater.
Tell me.
When the seamen would go out, they would wear, unfortunately, some of them wouldn't come back. They would come back, the ships would sink and things like that, and the bodies would wash up, and they would be able to identify the family by the sweater that they were wearing.
By the kind of yarn?
By the kind of sweater and the... That's from what I understand. That's from what I understand.
Let's bring it back to positive.
Yeah, so we're going to bring it back to
positive. Top of the morning to you, Scott, and top of the morning.
How do you recover from that? Like, what do you do?
That's like an SNL skit, like Debbie Downer.
Oh, yeah. And we've had, believe me, we've had stuff like that happen here where it's like, okay, let's bring up a really sad topic like kitties, anyway. It's time for a special serving a hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Friends, give it up for Brad from TMZ. Hi, Brad.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you? Top of the morning to you, Brad. Top of the morning.
I know.
Yeah.
I have no down story for you. I'll keep it positive.
Thank you. Hey, Taylor Swift kicked off her tour on Friday, and the reviews are coming in. Are they good?
Well, I mean, this was undoubtedly the music event of the year, maybe the last few years as far as live touring. And look, it lived up to its hype if you believe the reviews. Now, Taylor Swift, she kicked off her Eras tour in Glendale, Arizona on Friday and Saturday. She had shows there. They named the city Swift City in her honor. The show went over 3 hours, Jason. She did, I think, a set list of about 44 songs. Plenty of costume changes, plenty of different scenery. She kind of went through all of her different albums, and the fans love it.
Yeah, I have friends that are literally traveling the country to see her at various stops. So
yeah, you and me both. It's a nice little boost for whatever city's holding her, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Next, it looks like Kenny G is sick of playing his clarinet for his ex. Oh, saxophone. What did I say? It's a reed instrument.
Hey, he can do both, I'm sure.
He can play both. They're both reed instruments. I was in band. Anyway, Kenny G is asking a judge to pull the plug on his monthly spousal support obligations. Is that right?
Well, this is pretty insane, Jason. So he was married to his ex-wife, Lindy, for 21 years. They have been split for almost a decade now. And since then, he's been shelling out $40,000 a month in spousal support. So that's around $4 million when you do the math. But nonetheless, his attorney has filed documents saying, look, he's been paying this $40,000 a month for a really long time. His ex-wife has not tried to get her own job and try and support herself. And after the COVID pandemic, Kenny lost out on a lot of touring money, and he really hasn't recovered from that. His paychecks have declined over the last couple of years, and to still pay $40,000 is just ridiculous. Now, we'll see what the judge rules, but it's pretty insane that Kenny G is paying that much money a month.
That is a lot of money for our saxophone-playing friend, yes.
A lot of money. He's going to put out a lot of Christmas albums to cover that.
Yeah. Hey, finally, Brad, I saw the ads on social all weekend. You guys have a primetime special tonight.
We do. It's on tonight at 8 for you guys over there. It's called 9/11, the Fifth Plane. And there was a United flight that was scheduled to go out at 9 a.m. from JFK to LAX the morning of September 11th. By the time that it was supposed to hit the runway and take off, all planes were grounded. But there was some suspicious activity on this plane, and we speak with not only the flight attendants, but the pilot of this flight as well, who explains kind of some suspicious activity that happened there among some of the passengers, what they saw after the flight was grounded. And these people really believed that this was going to be the fifth hijacked plane. So be sure to watch that. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really special. It's really good.
I can't wait to watch. Like I said, I knew nothing about this plane until now, so I can't wait to watch. Brad, have a good week. Thank you, buddy.
You too. Thanks, Jason.
More on these stories at TMZ.com. Our executive producer, Jeff, was gone on Thursday and Friday. And by the way, you can tell that he's back. Leo, can you look? I was left one card on my desk, one, and it reads, Jeff is my favorite. That's all. That's right, yeah. And number two, I have said wrong things before. You know, I've made mistakes. It's live TV without a net. And Jeff will occasionally give me a facial expression of like, no. Mm-hmm. I have rarely seen him so mad as when I misinstrumented Kenny G. Mm-hmm. Leo, take 5. This was Jeff's face. It's the saxophone. That's why. Because he played saxophone in band. Good gravy. I've said more offensive things and he didn't get that mad.
I wish you would have said like the
Yeah, I know, exactly. He gets the emails. Yeah. Next in the dish, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have a pretty good track record when it comes to making movies. Their upcoming film is called Air. If you've seen the commercials, it's about Nike's relationship with Michael Jordan. So they were featured on CBS Sunday morning and talked about some of their casting decisions. This was interesting. Look.
According to Affleck, Michael Jordan himself had a few suggestions.
What did he tell you was important to him?
A number of things, and I'm not sure that I'm at liberty to share every single one. But what I will tell you is he said, Viola Davis is going to be my mother.
Which is kind of like choosing Michael Jordan for your basketball team. My name's Sonny Vaccaro. I'm with Nike.
Do you typically make it a habit of showing up at people's front doors unannounced?
I don't like to take no for an answer.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Viola Davis was in fact cast as Michael's mom, Dolores Jordan.
Why do we not see Michael Jordan in this movie?
We don't see Michael Jordan for the very, what was obvious reason to me, which is that this is a movie about an icon, about somebody who's so meaningful that the minute, you know, I show you somebody and tell you, like, hey, that's Michael Jordan, you just go, no, it isn't. I know what Michael Jordan is. I know what he is. And not only that, the only actor who could play Michael Jordan was a little old to play this part, and we probably couldn't afford him. But the idea was, like, if I show you something, that you know that's not Michael Jordan, and now everything else is fake.
I actually agree. I actually agree, because Jordan is one of those figures, like Muhammad Ali, that he's so photographed and so well known that if you put someone else in there, it would kind of snap you out of the reality of the movie. This, though, I am really interested in seeing this because it's hard for us, you know, around our age, if you're to think of a world. It's almost like trying to think of a world like pop culture-wise without Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's always been there. Or Steven Spielberg. Think of a world where Nike wasn't Nike. You know what I mean? Like
it wasn't the phenomenon.
It wasn't a phenomenal brand. It was struggling. It was nothing. I mean, being a kid in the 80s, it wasn't the brand that everyone, you know, that you wanted the shoes. It was, for me, in Indiana, and we barely had shoes in Indiana, but it was Converse, you know. Okay. They just showed us pictures of shoes in Indiana.
This is what other people wear.
This is what other people wear in other states. But no, but to imagine that Nike wasn't the phenomenon that it is now. I can't wait. And then they took a chance on a rookie. Now, look, that rookie turned out to be Michael Jordan, but a lot of risks for everybody. And I love how smart of a businesswoman MJ's mom was.
Yes.
That was, Oh, I can't wait to see
that.
Yeah.
Far off.
Air, by the way, hits theaters on April 5th. Reviews are already coming in, and so far, so good. Variety called the movie this generation's Jerry Maguire. Oh, wow. IndieWire says Ben Affleck shoots and scores with his biographical sports drama. And The Wrap says Ben Affleck's underdog story soars thanks to a dynamic cast. Okay, can't wait to see it now. Next in the dish, Demi Moore posted a video about her ex-husband, Bruce Willis, yesterday. Bruce turned 68. And it's the first video of him since his dementia diagnosis. Let's look at this.
To you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy.
Just like that dog.
Good to see Bruce. Good to see Bruce. Oh, he looks good. He looks good.
He looks happy.
Yes.
You know, at least in this video. His wife posted something about this. She's been very open about the situation, as we know. That's how we've been getting our information about him. But she said, like, every day as a caretaker is really, really hard. Like, because you love someone and they're just not them anymore. And she said, but today, his birthday, was exceptionally difficult. So it's good to hear that, but it's also good to see that, you know, he at least looks like he was loved and felt really happy and good that day.
I also just, and lately, this is so much bad news. I've said it before. I love, even before this diagnosis, I love that family has come together that way. That Demi and the new wife, and they've been like that forever. They've lived down the road from each other. I thought they were some of the most they're more, as exes, they're more well-adjusted than some married couples in Hollywood. You know what I mean? I think that's lovely. For the girls, for Tallulah and the girls, and just for themselves. Right. Yeah. They really, again, old enough to remember when they were a couple, and you could tell they loved each other. That was electric. We're going to take a break. Much more when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Coming up in just a little bit, Academy Award nominated film The Whale is available to rent right now. I watched it, and I'll have my review. Then, what are you thinking this week? We're opening up the mailbag, and you have a lot to say about outfits and Stephanie Hanson's latest hack. That and more when we come back. So we were just realizing in the commercial break that our crew could start a band.
Sure
we
could.
did. And the audience said they would come to our first gig because they would come to our first gig.
Did y'all say that?
They did say that, Kendall.
Okay.
Yeah, if they want prizes, they'll say that. Anyway, yeah. But we just found out through his anger face that Jeff played the saxophone. Director Chris, who's been at Channel 9 25 years. That's right. Chris, you played the clarinet. Social media Addie played the flute, a la Lizzo. Aaron Schwab is piano. Kendall's percussion.
Leo played the trumpet.
Of course, Leo played.
Ted played trombone.
Ted played trombone. Director Leo played trumpet, and I played the hardest instrument of all, the French horn. There we go.
Of course he did.
It is the hard. What? It's
I'm
three
sorry,
keys.
I had to play like 17 instruments.
Thank you. It's if you ask anybody, thank you, Aaron Schwab, for sticking up for me.
How long did you play How long did you play the French horn? How many years? 1? 6 weeks?
Welcome back. Half a year. No, I played a full year. But Mr. Morris, the band teacher, kicked me out. He didn't like me. Yeah, anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
What?
I play anyway. Let's go. We have a segment to do that Jeff produced for a long time. Anyway, you know we love a good list around these parts. A new list from Billboard.com names the 65 biggest hit songs from movies. It includes everything from Footloose to Purple Rain. But we're doing this because you might be surprised at what's in the top 5, okay? And you know we love to argue about these lists. Now keep in mind, this list is based on how well the songs did on the Hot 100 chart. Surprisingly, listen to this, audience. I Will Always Love You by Whitney is not number 1. It's number 7. It's number 7. That is probably one of the biggest shocks of this list. My mom's really angry right now. I can hear her. Anyway, let's go to the top 5, shall we? And we're going to start with this classic. That dance. Speaking of my mother, this is one of her favorite movies. Flashdance, What a Feeling by the late Irene Cara spent 6 weeks at number 1 in 1983. If you ever see me, if I control a touch-tune jukebox at a bar, I always play that song, yeah.
What a Feeling. I've never seen that movie.
You never seen Flashdance?
I know.
No, it's all right. You would like it, actually. It holds up.
I know, I would love it. I just haven't.
I've seen it recently. It holds up.
Yeah.
It holds up, yeah. Number 4 comes from the year before, 1982. Remember this? Girl, I am loving his beret. Loving that. Survivor's Eye of the Tiger was in Rocky 3. Get this. Sly Stallone had wanted Queens, Another One Bites the Dust for the movie, but Queens said, no, I'm not giving you the rights to that. Yeah, they said no to Sly Stallone.
Really?
Yeah, I can see that. Freddie Mercury was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be in Rocky 3. Is that the one with Mr. T? Rocky 3 was Mr. T, wasn't it? Yeah. Rocky 4 was with the Russians, and then 2 was Creed. Yeah, anyway. Number 3 was a big hit in the late 70s. Listen to this.
And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love?
How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. Surprisingly, audience, listen to this. It was the biggest hit from Saturday Night Fever in '77, and that soundtrack, you have no idea, unless you were alive, you're nodding your head. That was a phenomenon. I remember my parents had that LP. I remember as a kid, seeing that LP and Supertramp. I remember that LP. And then the Star Wars Disco LP. I can just picture my mom's stereo. Anyway, moving on to the second biggest movie song of all time. This one, we're going to move to the 90s. This one is from 91.
You know it's true. Everything I do it for you.
Yeah, Yeah. Kendall looks very confused. Yeah.
I remember this song.
Bryan Adams spent 7 weeks at #1 with Everything I Do Do For You from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Horrible movie, but good song. Yeah. Horrible movie. Horrible movie.
We like slow danced like this.
If you
to
were
this song.
Kendall,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
What?
If you were in high school, come here.
Okay. Okay.
Let's take the jib. Come here. Leo, turn this up. Let's go over here. Come on.
Okay.
Will you dance with me?
Yes. Wait, but we're not doing it right.
Ew, girls have cooties. Okay, yeah. I've been dancing with the girls for, since 91, actually, yeah. Okay, are you guys trying to guess what the #1 song is? The #1 movie song is probably a surprise. Listen.
You will always be my endless love.
Yep, Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. Listen to this. Spent 27 weeks on the charts in '81, 9 weeks at #1. It's the biggest hit ever for both Lionel and Diana. It's a classic song. The remix, the redo with Shania Twain's also good. With Lionel and Shania.
Oh?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I haven't heard that one.
But no one will ever be Miss Ross. You got to call her Miss Ross or she'll slap you. Yeah, she gets very mad.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Good list. Miss Ross. Thanks for the dance. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back. Well, it's been just over a week since Brendan Fraser won his first ever Oscar for his performance in the movie The Whale. I've been trying to catch up on Oscar-nominated movies. I wanted to do this before the Oscars, but life gets in the way. So I finally watched The Whale yesterday afternoon. And before I give you my review, if you haven't seen anything, here's a little clip.
You're an amazing person, Ellie. I couldn't ask for a more incredible daughter.
Are you actually trying to parent me right now?
Who would want me to be a part of their life?
So, Brendan plays a morbidly obese professor, a teacher, hoping to reconnect with his estranged daughter. And that's truly the basic crux of the movie. This is based on a play, and as you're watching it, you can tell it is based on a play, and that's not a net negative. It's just, specifically, the movie takes place inside Charlie's house, the character of Charlie. And I think that was done on purpose because you feel, as a moviegoer, it's interesting, you feel kind of trapped in the setting.
Like claustrophobic
So
almost.
a little claustrophobic, probably intentionally mimicking what the character of Charlie feels in his own body, trapped by his obesity, and he's trying to escape. And I know I'll get to his performance in a minute. Anyway, the movie is a little over 2 hours, and it is something that you should watch when you are not afraid to have a lot of emotions. This expects a lot out of you. It is emotional, and it's a little draining at parts, and it makes you feel Charlie's humanity, and you feel for him, and you see his struggle, his physical struggle, and his struggle to reconnect with his daughter, who does not make this easy. There's also some great side characters. This character of Liz is a caretaker, and then a young man who plays a missionary, and I don't want to tell you too much else about that character, but eagle-eyed pop culture viewers, if you look at that young man, if he looks familiar, he's actually the young kid from Jurassic World. You know, the little brother, not the big brother, but the little brother. Well, he's all grown up and he plays the missionary. Small cast, but a mighty one. A lot of movies are like this, and what I mean by that is I liked the performance of Brendan Fraser more than the movie as a whole. It is a tough watch. And I know now, I said I'm going to speak about Brendan's performance. I'll end with talking about the performance. Now I know why he won the Oscar. You feel everything through his eyes. Forget the prosthetics, forget the special effects, forget Brendan won because of Brendan, and everything shows on his face. Every time he's feeling physical pain, you feel it. Every time the character is struggling to get up, you feel it. And I know there's been some criticism, and a dispassionate conversation could happen about whether they should have just hired an actor of that size. I know some people are upset about that, but I got to tell you, watching this now, Brendan Fraser was hired because Brendan Fraser was the best person that auditioned. He deserved this role. He's magnificent. It's worth seeing just to see Brendan Fraser. Is it a movie that you're going to watch over and over again, like a Pixar movie or a rom-com? No. But The Whale, which is still playing in select theaters, is worth seeing just so you can see why Brendan Fraser won that Oscar. Bravo, bravo. You can also rent it at home too. Powerful, very powerful, but draining.
Right.
Don't watch it if you're in a good mood, because literally we got done and we had to watch Wreck-It Ralph. I'm just saying that, yeah. I'm not joking. More to come, but first, audience selfie pictures from last week. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. It is Monday, and every Monday we take time to respond to you. Leo, activate the mailbag. Here we go. First up, now the staff got a card in the mail that made us laugh. As you can see, here we go. It had 4 penguins on the front, and Janelle labeled them as Jason, Kendall, Ted. But can you see what she wrote on the penguin on the left? Take a closer look. It says, the other guy, I forgot his name. That would be executive producer and saxophone enthusiast Jeff Orchid. That's right. That other guy.
Forgot his name.
It's like the little Partridge Family birds, and it gets down. I forgot Jeff's name.
You know when like you do that though, and you start writing something, then you're like, oh, I forgot.
Forgot his. Yes,
one.
yeah. Jeff. We love that one. Next up is Barry. Hi, Barry. He noticed something under the desk. He says, Kendall, I hate to tell you this, but there's a dust bunny under your chairs along with a dirt monster. Now, we've looked. I don't know if he means, we don't know if this is home base. We don't know if we mean this or we call that the interview area. It's most likely under the interview area, but we're looking closely. We do not see the bunny or the dust monster.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was he worried for my safety?
I think he was. I think he was worried for your safety.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. And believe me, and the staff can tell you, I vacuum sometimes. I do. I drives, like where Aaron stands by the audience, it drives me nuts. So I sometimes get my little hokey and I vacuum myself. A hokey is what they used to call vacuums at Red Lobster. The little hokey.
A hokey?
A hokey, yeah.
Okay.
As in pokey. we got a strong reaction to Stephanie Hand. Thank you, audience. They're slowly getting that. Thank you. It's all right. It's Monday. And again, no liquor. We got a strong reaction to Stephanie Hansen's segment from last week. So here's the deal on Thursday. She shared some St. Patrick's Day recipes as well as a hack for getting parchment paper to fit in a pan when she made brownies. Janet says, I love Stephanie's parchment paper hack. I used it today when I made her whiskey bourbon brownies. OMG, the brownies were fudgy and delicious, and the parchment paper hack worked awesome. Yeah, it was good. Do you remember?
She made it wet. She got it wet, so then it kind of fit the corners better.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's
You know?
it. That segment, if you watch it, that was chaos. And so that's why I do not remember. That was utter chaos
He
that
blacked
day.
out.
I blacked out momentarily. Up next, we also got a big reaction to a guest we had on last week. Many of you loved seeing blogger Molly McAwesome on the show last Wednesday. Molly is one of the few influencers that doesn't drive me crazy. She gave us a review of the new Super Nintendo World and how to turn your passion into a job. So, on YouTube, Patrick says, Molly is a national treasure. You are blessed to have her. Yes, thank you. Rochelle says, Molly is the absolute best. This interview was so much fun to watch. And Karen says, thank you for featuring Molly on your show and introducing her to a wider audience. I discovered her a few years ago and have been following her ever since. She's a gem. Yeah, I make a joke about this, but as a person that I have this and I follow some influencers and they really do, some drive me crazy. But Molly and our guest the week before, Brooke McDonald and Michael Does Disney, those are really the three influencers that I trust and won't just blow smoke because they're kissing Mickey's butt. You know, they'll tell you the truth. So Molly and Brooke will be back on the show every so often. Next up, many of you enjoyed our unconventional take on Oscar fashions. What do I mean? A week ago, a real-life TV engineer, Brad, shared his thoughts on the best and worst dressed at the Oscars. Sue writes to us, your segment with that engineer was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Please let Brad do more.
Oh, man.
That is, I got to tell you, Jeff and I are TV nerds, and a lot of the things that we do on the show is an homage to something. Jeff also says, TV, there are no new ideas in TV. That is blatantly an homage to Letterman. Letterman was the first in talk show to really turn the crew into characters. Remember Biff, the floor director, and he would send them, so that's our tip of the hat to Letterman. And it gives us an opportunity to see Brad. I mean, anyway.
Plumage was my favorite
the plumage. Yes, Lisa is up next. She has a question about, here we go, producer Ted. She asks, curious if Ted was the inspiration behind the Bob's Discount Furniture guy. So Jeff has done a side-by-side. Let's look at this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a winner. That's right. Wow, that is Ted.
Ted, every white man of the age of 30-something. Got it.
I am never going to be able to see that commercial the same way again. Finally, it's only March, but one viewer is already looking forward to late summer. Suzanne writes to us, hey, Jason, I just took days off to see you at the State Fair. Can you tell me what dates you're going to be there? I can't wait. I love your show, and I tape it every day. Okay, Suzanne, my love, I love you. But I'm barely thinking about summer, let alone State Fair. Here's what I do know. Our show is out there every single weekday, except for Labor Day. I'm also out there at the radio show, which begins at 6 a.m. So I'm there 6 a.m. to at the very earliest 11:30 a.m. And I'm usually there till about noon 30. Usually on most days, noon 30. By the way, the State Fair starts, if you're wondering, Thursday, August 24th. It's the first day of spring, though, but yeah. Anyway, hey, you can stay connected with our show on social media. Just search for Jason Show TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And our personal accounts, Jason Matheson and Kendall Mark. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everyone. Oh, Brad. Welcome back. Join us this week. Go to eventbrite.com and search for The Jason Show. Okay, friends, it's time for the world's shortest segment. Get ready to go back to the 90s, courtesy of Taco Bell. The fast food chain is bringing back the volcano menu. Hot and spicy volcano burritos and tacos, along with lava sauce. Oh, that sounds delightful. Will be available starting in June, but reward members will get early access. The volcano menu was first introduced in '95, and it became a quick favorite, and it was pulled from the menu in 2013. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Oh, I do. Hey, don't forget to visit our merch store. All you have to do is go to the Jason Show socials, and you'll see a link right at the top. We have mugs, that water. I got to stop talking about that water.
Oh, you and that water
I love that
bottle.
water tumbler. It's so good. It keeps water cold for like 30 years. And we have some new products coming up, too. And I met a woman at the VFW who had our sweatshirt. So go get some stuff right now. Tomorrow, the Gadget Guy is back. Plus, it's Fantasy Suite Night on The Bachelor. And producer Ted will be watching. Right now, though, go out there and be yourself. We'll see you tomorrow.